Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Paul and Chad
This
here.
is going to be the ASMR or whatever. They make the listen to me talking.
What's the
Here's
whisper
my
talk on NPR? Hi, everybody.
yeah.
Whisper talk.
We're just going to talk very quietly about
Very
things
whispery.
that aren't really interesting.
No, it's going to be great. Coming up next, a lot of stuff to talk about.
Follow and lead.
What's going on? What was your conspiracy today that you were talking about? Because I love
That Biden was a clone.
Yeah, that one. We heard that when he got in. When he was. That was my favorite one that I had heard on the day that he was inaugurated. Is that he wasn't real, and that it was either a clone or somebody wearing a meat robot suit or something.
This one actually was fun because they're saying his cognitive decline was because of successive cloning.
So, like every time
Yep. That he's a bad copy,
long, and then the copy gets worse and worse. Okay, I see that.
So I was like, it was very enjoyable. Actually, it was like that's fun. That's a good one.
Do you often wonder, like, do you believe that? Like, is that something you believe? I'm curious.
I know, as a matter of fact, there were people that believe that, for example, he wasn't ever really inaugurated. He wasn't in the Oval Office. It was a movie set in California.
Yeah,
and that it was part of this larger coup of some kind. And I never really understood why. I'm like, why would they need
a shitty coup?
Well, why would you need it if you really did overthrow the government, which they did? But if they really did overthrow the government and installed him, he could just be in the White House. He didn't have to be in California. Like, why would he have to?
Yeah, they kind of destroy their own narrative.
They do, because, like flat earthers or anti-Israelites, they put in all these equations that don't ever completely add up.
What did you say? Anti-what?
Anti-Israelites. They kind of put these equations in that don't fully. The train never goes all the way to the logic station.
It's not anti-Israelites.
So, like, they defeat themselves.
Well, the whole so wait, hold on. You want to have a coup, and in your coup, you want to not be involved in it and have it filmed so you can go off and do whatever it is that you want to do, hoping nobody ever sees you, and that everything's what?
It's really
seems like a lot of work.
I always do this. I take flat earther as my gold standard. The earth is not flat, but flat earth of conspiracy gold standard is the gold standard. What equations do they use to come to the flat earth? And if yours doesn't even come to that level, you're really like, instead of a good cult, you're like the Hale-Bopp cult.
You know what's the neat thing about the flat earthers, though? They believe it. And some of them can make a very cogent argument where you go, I see what you're doing.
They make a great argument.
I understand it. I don't believe it. But you know what? I mean, it's I've debated with them. I've seen them out. Like, have you ever gone to like a fair where they're out there? It's like they're selling, it's like a street fair, and then there's a flat earther booth, and you're like, I'm gonna go talk to him.
You know what? Once I did talk to kind of a prominent flat earther, and I just asked him one question: why? Well, and they give you these. I'm like, they go, well, they want you to believe there's flat instead of round. Why?
Yeah.
Well, they want you not to believe in God. Sometimes they want you to believe in. I said, evolution could happen on a flat Earth just as well as it could happen on a round Earth.
Yeah.
Like, why is the shape of the Earth ever matter?
Yeah, like
Stumped.
You're not getting anything out of it, right?
It's not like stumped them.
Yeah.
The best was, well, they want to hide that there's other lands behind this giant ice wall, and these other lands have more advanced civilizations that we want to trade with or something. I'm like, and how would that matter? Like, if I wanted it again, it never goes all the way to the train station. It gets right here, and then the stops here, and the logic train's like right here, and it's just out of juice.
So there's a wall, and on the other side of the wall are people that we want to trade with, and we know they're there, but only a certain group does, and there's some sort of magic that we can go back and forth, but we're too stupid and too knuckle dragging to hang out with them. So they kind of like, it's like flying in an airplane when they shut the curtain between first class and sit.
Exactly. Yep. That's what you need. Well, it's like the smoking section. There was a sign between them.
This day, I've never understood that. Smoking. I'm like, does it matter?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it fucking matter? I'm going to be on a tube with people smoking. We're not going anywhere. I'm not moving around. I'm not outdoors.
one of the best arguments they do have is the fact that it's true that the Arctic is guarded fiercely by not just our military, but pretty much there's a treaty that no one can go there. Only
Yeah.
America and I think Russia and
Yes.
maybe one other little country can.
America, Russia. Is it China? No, I think
Yeah,
it's China. I don't even know if it's China.
let me say,
China.
but to me, it's like, so you mean after all this time, if there's some amazingness there, one of our biggest enemies, like North Korea or anybody, or even Russia, didn't just go, yeah, we're going in.
Yeah, that's kind of odd, right? So it's a weird thing.
It is, but you know what? So another one of the weird things that isn't that I just was reading about that isn't flat Earth, but interesting. You know, there's parts of the Grand Canyon that are protected that no one's allowed to go into.
Yeah.
That's weird. That is weird. I mean, they say it's because there's an ancient Egyptian civilization or something like that.
Some are supposed to be burial sites, things of that nature, which are sacred to the Navajo or some of the. Okay, that's fine. I get that, but there is some,
It's weird.
Is it the Nephilim?
Is it the Nephilim? Is it? You know what? Honestly, just because Trump says it, you have to be against it. But when he said that what's our big natural history museums run by? Who's the big history thing that's run by the American government? Darn it!
Which one? Like the oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, darn it! It's blanking on me right now.
It's because all the drugs.
Yeah.
Is it the Smithsonian?
Smithsonian. That
You're welcome.
They really did cover things up. That's just history because you have Abraham Lincoln's speech talking about the giants and the mounds. You literally have all these newspaper back then, like in 1800s, early 1900s, about giant, and we're not talking giants like 20-foot things. We're talking about 6-foot, 7-foot people that they were digging up. That would be giants.
In the day, if everybody's 5'2" and somebody's 6'6", that dude's fucking huge.
But again, they dug up and the Smithsonian didn't it's not like Indiana Jones, the end of it, where they're taking the ark into this giant warehouse to just disappear.
Okay.
But they did just put them in a catalog and never do anything.
What was they found the shoe, right?
They found giant shoe. They found giant footprints. But I knew it was true because I remember seeing it was on Discovery Channel where they were interviewing them and they go, "Oh, we have one," and in a cupboard is a giant skull. And now it's bigger, much bigger than a human skull. It's about maybe a 9-foot or 8-foot or something like that. People, but it's not like it's like nefariously hidden, but it isn't on display. It's completely hidden. They literally, for the show, they go into a cupboard to pull out this giant skull. You're like, that's interesting. And that's where you get the conspiracies.
Yeah.
Why isn't that on display? Why isn't this kind of stuff talked about more?
And the funny thing is, it's you half-ass it because everybody knows you had it.
Yep.
But you don't do anything with it. I wonder why that is.
It's why, I guess apparently when you go to the Smithsonian, one of the first displays you get to see is what do you call it? Those harnesses. It's a gay pride display, and it's got a mannequin wearing one of those like harnesses with the gimp suit harness or whatever. And yeah, they took a picture of it and they said there's little kids like looking at it. You're like, to act like the Smithsonian and a lot of these things aren't gone woke and they might be hiding things for wokish reasons. I do think that probably is true.
Really?
Because, yeah, it was a gay pride display, but some of the things they chose to put in that display is questionable for children.
I'm trying to see where it is.
Oh, let me see if I can find it.
Find that. That would be interesting. Is there a bondage suit?
Well, it's not really, kind of. It's this harness. I mean, you don't use that to walk around town, going to meetings.
Well, you don't know. You don't know how I fucking walk around town.
That's true.
There's
kind of things like
there's a leather jacket from a punk rocker that's on display. So, which is, first of all,
even if you just put a pride flag up and you talked about it, that's one thing. But what they chose to show was a little weird.
There's pictures of a leather jacket. That's the one I see. I don't see anything else at the Smithsonian.
It was like this sign saying, "Hey, this is for the Pride."
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure I'm believing you, dude. You need to double check.
I saw a picture.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Because that can't be faked. We just fucking talked about all the fake shit you do.
Yeah. So, you know what's sad? It's very believable. So you're right. We should double check things. You're 100% right. We all should double check things. But when you see it, you're like, yeah, I believe they'd do that. Because it's just a mannequin. You're like, yeah, okay, I can see them. Because in their mindset, weird fetishes are equivalent to underprivileged groups or so. I don't know how that works.
I don't know. When's the last time you went to a museum, Paul?
I went to a museum not too long ago, but it was R2D2 was on display.
How'd that go for you?
He was wearing nothing of offensive nature.
He was wearing metal.
He was wearing metal.
He's a metal guy, Paul, doing metal things.
And C-3PO had a silver leg.
Really?
That's what they always say. I don't remember that either. That's the Mandela effect conspiracy.
Is that the Mandela effect? Hold on here. CP30 silver leg. Let's see here. I don't know. I'll be damned. He sure did.
Well, no, he didn't.
Silver,
I do not remember that ever.
It's lighter than the other parts of him. Although when I look through this, depending on the picture, this is the other side of it, is the fact that he is, he's always had a silver shin. I didn't know that.
That one threw me. Do you know the other one throws me? Mandela effect is, you remember Moonraker, the Jaws character, the big tall guy? That had the braces?
Richard, whatever his name is.
He had braces, right?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
He
never had braces.
Richard Keel. Well, he didn't have braces. He had a metal mouth.
Nope.
Really?
And in Risky Business, Tom Cruise never wore sunglasses.
I'm looking at him in the Bond thing, bite through something with a metal mouth.
But look at what they say. He never had a metal mouth. Yes, I remember the metal mouth.
Oh, what is that then? Because even as he's fighting Roger Moore, he's got a mouth that's metal. I think you need to start getting your Mandela effects from other things.
No, watch Jaws. They had a braces thing.
Really?
Yep, it was a whole Mandela effect conspiracy. That and the Tom Cruise not having glasses
in Risky Business.
Yep.
He had So here's what it says. His character's prosthetic metal mouth was actually created for a previous film, Silver Streak.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he did have a metal mouth prosthetic. You are full of shit. As always, that's why nobody trusts you, because you don't even go to the right you go to the Nelson Mandela effect, and you're like,
you go to that, which is where it comes from. But apparently, Risky Business, Tom Cruise wasn't wearing sunglasses when he's dancing in his underwear.
But didn't he have sunglasses on at some point in time?
At some point, yep.
Yeah.
But everybody does this where he has sunglasses on.
Because it's on the cover of the poster where he's got the sunglasses down like that.
Yep.
But you can't dance with sunglasses. We all know that.
I kind of remember him, but that's what's fun about the Mandela. It's like it messes with your memory. It's subtle enough for you to go, I think I remember that, but like Sinbad did a genie movie. That's the famous one. And people are like, yeah, we all remember. And Sinbad's like, I never made a genie movie.
No, you can't ask really Sinbad. Look, dude, you should be surprised you made any movie.
I started to say, what does he do now? Sinbad was cool.
I thought he had a stroke, and then he tried to get himself. I'm not quite sure exactly what is doing now. Sinbad.
It needs to be up for a revival.
Shazam, in which people playing a genie, however, no such movie existed. Yeah. Shazam was a movie that was, there was a Shazam movie, but also, what's his name? Shaq did a Shazam movie or something like that.
I think Shaq did. Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe people just got confused.
Yeah.
Oh, Sinbad, not Shaq.
So here are the best ones when it comes to the Mandela effect. Luke, I am your father.
Yep.
And said, no, I am your father. And your mother's a whore. What? That was weird. That was at the end.
One, yeah.
You guys probably didn't hear that one. That was like, what the hell? What? The Bernstein Bears name was misspelled. And actually, it's the Bernsteins instead of the Bernstans. The monocle for the Monopoly guy.
Yep. Curious George's tail.
I never thought that. And the monocle.
I thought he had a monocle. I did. I thought he had a monocle, but I'm like,
Fruit of a Loom.
yeah. There was no cornucopia apparently.
No.
But I do remember a cornucopia.
I do too. Well, was it a cornucopia or was it just the purple grapes in the commercial?
I remember a cornucopia, but where it came from, I don't know.
The spelling of Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Play It Again, Sam. Is a big
Fruit
one.
Loops.
And Curious George.
I remember him having a tail, but he has no tail apparently.
I never did because you had that freaking real live Curious George thing. Remember that?
It had no tail?
Yeah.
See, isn't that funny?
Tail. Pikachu.
Oh, was it Pikachu's ears or something like that?
Tail. I didn't know he didn't have a tail. I didn't know that. Wow, that's weird. See, I don't even know.
It's cool. And it all is because the Large Hadron Collider came online in 2012 and into the world. That's a great conspiracy.
It's Jif, not Chippy.
Yeah.
Oh, so Looney Tunes, not Looney Tunes. I never once thought it was spelled Tons. I don't know where everybody got that.
I thought it was TU because it was music. It was always set to music. So Looney Tunes.
Sex in the City. Stupid. Nobody cares about that one. Febreze. Oscar Mayer. Or is it Oscar Mayer?
See, that's one so close. I could never tell you. I mean, I wouldn't even.
You don't even know which way it goes, right? Which one's right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it Mayer? Oscar Mayer. Wow. There's an A in Mayer. Honest to goodness, we thought it was Meyer. Well, that's weird. Skechers. Now they spell it.
Yeah, there was a weird one on Skechers.
Fruit Loops. Right?
Yep.
Which I didn't. King Henry VIII, turkey leg.
I don't remember that one.
No, but there's plenty of him with turkey leg pictures. Pikachu's tail, the hyphen and Kit Kat. Okay, so the Fruit of a Loom logo. So I'm looking at this one, and these are like the ones that are supposed to be like the coolest of the cool. Here, let's pull some of these over here because this will be funny. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, let's see here. All right, here we go. Let's pull this over. So Fruit of a Loom. So Cheese It or Cheese It?
See, I thought it was the last one, Cheese It. I don't remember the Z.
Okay. See, I thought it was Cheese It. So double stuff Oreos.
I thought it was the stuff, SUFF. Yep.
Yeah. Mona Lisa smile. She never smiled. I think we already recognize that. She's never.
Oh, see, I always thought she smiled her because we always talked about her famous smile.
Why are you guys here? You guys suck. I don't want to be here. C-3PO and a silver leg. We already talked about the Flintstone has 2 T's.
See, that I didn't know that.
So it's the Flintstones, not the Flintstones. It's the.
I always thought it was the Flintstones.
Yeah, chartreuse. I don't even know what fucking color chartreuse is. Is this chartreuse? Is it pink?
I thought it was the purplish thing.
I thought so too. Oh, I didn't know that. Life is like a box of chocolates. It's not what he said.
No.
So if you listen, life was like a box of chocolates. Oh, okay.
That could be an easy one.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Mirror. I always remember mirror, mirror on the wall.
No, wasn't the line at all. It said, "Hey, mirror, magic mirror, what's up? Hey, look."
Yeah.
Talk.
Yo. Reflection surface.
Yo, bitch, what's up? Am I the happiest, most good-looking guy? Luke, I'm your father. Run, you fools. Now, this would be you. Did he not say that?
You know, I thought he said that because fly doesn't make any difference because the Barlog is coming when they're in the dwarven mines and they woke it up and he's, thou shalt not pass. You're not going to pass. And he tells them to run because Gandalf is going to die to save them from the Barlog.
Wow, that sounds horrible. Hello.
Oh, yeah. It's important stuff. He didn't say hello, Clarice.
No, he said good morning. He said, hi, how are you?
So what up?
Freddie Mercury. Of the world. At the end, we are the champions, but it never happened. Wow.
Yeah,
Don't
I
think
think
that Freddie
somewhere he
Mercury
did
belted
say
out
that.
of the world, but
He said
apparently
that somewhere.
Well, he probably said it somewhere, but at the end, when we think the song goes down and then he goes of the world, it doesn't do that. I didn't. Freddie, I love you, brother, but I've tried to sing that, showing everybody, but I'm horrible. So settle down. Mr. Rogers theme song. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Weird.
But even the movie got it
Day
wrong.
in this neighborhood.
That's weird, right? Number of states. How do you mess that up? Well,
Wait,
it's weird because
what
we
did
have
they think
half
it was?
states.
51 or 52?
It's 50. Some
I know,
people
but they
say
thought
51,
people.
52 because we have Puerto Rico, which is kind of like a half-ass state, right? Like you can kind of vote, but you can't do this and all this kind. And then you have Guam because we have you. There we go. Sinbad, you got that one right. Smokey the Bear. His name isn't Smokey the Bear. What? Contrary to the popular
Who is
belief,
it?
it's Smokey Bear.
Weird.
Tank Man. No, he was. I never once thought he was run over and killed.
I never thought Neil Armstrong died. Then again, I don't know who dies or not. I used to say OJ died in the Twin Towers attack.
Did you? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I started spreading that one because I thought it was funny and people thought, oh, did he?
Billy Graham, 2018. People didn't realize when he had died. Mother Teresa, canonized.
Wait, she wasn't? I thought she was.
Yeah. People have strong opinions about whether Mother Teresa was canonized as saint. The real event happened in 2016. But remember, many people thought it happened in 1990s while she was alive.
Oh, okay.
Space Shuttle Challenger.
Now, do you know the conspiracy theory around that?
No, tell me.
That none of them really died, and people find these people. One had a twin brother, so this helped it, and others they find look almost exactly like the astronauts that are now just doing, like, one's a teacher, one's like a plumber's assistant, one's they just have normal jobs. The twin didn't help. The fact that one guy literally had a twin,
Yeah,
and they said it really didn't explode. The people really didn't die.
Well, not the conspiracy, but the conventional wisdom is they didn't die when it first exploded, that they were heading down and all alive. Lindbergh baby. When aviator Charles Lindbergh and his son was kidnapped, the entire world focused on their attention on the story. Many remember the case going cold, but sadly, they found the body, sentenced the killer to death for the heinous crime. Patrick Swayze's health. I don't remember that. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, I remember any of that.
No, well, I didn't even know he got it. He got an Academy Award. Was that for that the Bear movie?
Oh, that's probably was, or Wolf of Wall Street, one of the two.
Yeah, and then the location of Disney World Castle. No, how's that?
No, it never was an interest because at Disneyland, it's in the kind of like
it's in the center of the whole damn thing, dude.
Yep.
I mean that's where that is. So it's always been in the center. I don't know where they get that from.
Well, that's what I love about. This is conspiracy theories, things people believe that don't really have a basis in reality, but have a basis in their recollection.
Yeah,
like
there's
Democrats
stuff like that.
Like Trump was dead this whole weekend.
He
was dead the entire weekend.
I was surprised at how well he looked.
He looks good for a dead person.
So, and I was saying this today on the air. So, you can find guys that look like Trump, and you can find people that do Trump's voice, but the guy they hired, fantastic,
amazing,
awesome.
Maybe he's a clone.
Fooled everybody.
Yep. I just thought that was funny. Like, how does this happen that our society, like wildfire, grabs onto ridiculous things with no proof and just starts running with them?
Because that's what we do. And we'll find enough proof in a little something to keep the glimmer of hope alive.
And you realize that the example, they found enough proof to keep running with the Trump is dead.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm skeptical about pretty much everything.
Oh yeah.
And people just run with it. And I'm like, well, show me the examples, because you want me to believe things and you've told me so many lies in the past.
I like the no. There's just look, first of all, I'm going to let this out to you guys in the world of politics. Many of you guys don't know because I know a lot of politicians. I've been in this business a super long time. These fuckers, if Trump had passed away, fucking JD Vance would be absolutely like, I'm doing this.
It
Right?
would have been such big news.
Yeah, there's no altruistic. I'm jumping up to the front. This is my time to shine. You want to hear my conspiracy I made up today? This was my hot take today. You guys like this one? First of all, I don't think he's nowhere near as healthy as he used to be. I think he's got some problems. And with
What is
the
a 72-year-old man? What is he? 72?
78, 79.
78.
He's almost 80. Let's be real.
80-year-old man.
He's past his sell-by date, according to the actuary tables, for a man born at the time that he was born till here. So he's doing much better than most. He's got the most stressful job on the planet. He doesn't make it easy on himself sometimes as well, let's be honest. But this is my super awesome throw this out there. See if you guys follow along. Things slow down. There's some ups and downs. The Democrats half-assly find their feet. Some people piss some people off. Maybe the economy's not moving well. They lose next year, the midterms. Trump waits till the 21st of January in 2027. He then steps down, gets pardoned all over the place for the boys. But here's the other thing. Once it goes past 2 years and 1 day, those 2 years that JD would be president do not count towards his 2 terms. Once you get past the halfway mark, that's just you're filling out the time. Then your clock starts if you win the next one.
I love that conspiracy.
That's a pretty good one, right?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think
I said today, is he that sick? I don't know. I think they played a lot close to the vest. Could he have had some issues? I think he absolutely has some issues, and you can tell by his heart because of his ankles and stuff. He's also an 80-year-old man who has a pretty damn rigorous time, and maybe they're telling him to cut it back. There's a lot of stuff in there that's just nature, right?
It's normal for an 80-year-old man, basically, to have some problems he needs to tend to and maintain.
But you want to know where it really spread this weekend? Why you want to know? Because what's the medical center, the medical thing they use?
Yep.
All of the area was cordoned off. All of the cameras were turned off. That's why it really started to spread, because all of the cameras were completely turned off. All of the area was cordoned off, which, look, if he has had to go see a doctor or some of that stuff, again, he's 80 years old. You don't want him to die. But if something happened to him, would I be shocked? If your 80-year-old grandfather died, would you be shocked?
Do you realize this is what I call when you look for convenient facts to prove a theory? This is what all that is.
Yeah.
It is why the world is flat. It is why January 6th was the most darkest day in history. They find and cherry pick facts.
Everybody does. They love it.
To who doesn't do it? It's textual criticism. That's where I always come from. When you go to a seminary, they don't say the Bible's real. They go the opposite. Prove it wrong.
Yeah.
And you learn to question everything.
You should question everything. And today's world, by the way, with pictures and AI getting as good, you guys need to slow that shit down.
Yep.
You know what's weird though, and you could speak this better than anybody else. AI, it's kind of like criminals. They're always one step ahead. So with AI, it's so good that any detector isn't quite caught up to it. It can catch 95% of it, but 5% is always going to get by.
There was a thing here in LA on the news, and I didn't get to see the whole thing, but a woman lost, I think it was $350,000 because her favorite soap opera.
Oh my God, I did that one.
Did you?
I did that story.
It was AI though. He never did anything.
AI. And it's not the first time he's been used.
And I'm like, you don't realize I could clone absolutely anybody. And I could make a picture right now that 99% of the world wouldn't know was real, of you doing something horrible, or you're robbing a bank, whatever. And I could do it to anybody. And the problem is I think we're months away, especially when it gets to the elections, of Trump being caught with all kinds of horrible things, and they have photographic evidence that never came out till now.
Well, he's not.
I won't believe any of it.
It would have to be like somebody that would be running to really take him down. Because remember, as even my friends who are Democrats say, okay, if Trump was to get sick or have to step down, or God forbid something happened, it's not like the Democrats get to assume the mantle. It just goes to a healthier, younger guy that is
Or JD
probably
Vance all of
yeah,
a sudden gets pictures of him, molesting a goat or something, and you're like, interesting.
that'd be
None of
funny.
this came out until after AI was invented.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's the other thing. You also have plausible deniability forever. That's not me.
Yeah,
That's AI. So it goes both
100%.
ways. Even if
Yeah.
you did do something, you go, that's not me. It's AI.
Well, there was a couple things I saw
Oh,
which I couldn't tell. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I need more. This one image, I cannot tell. And I work at it all day long, every day. And I'm like, that's amazing. When not every, there's a lot of them that you like, they're quick tails, but this one was like, I don't know what's going on. That's how good it's getting. And guess what? It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So the ability to come at things skeptically is incredibly important.
Incredibly important. Don't believe anything. Start out from it.
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit, and then work your way into.
Well, look at when going all back to October 6th or 7th or whatever, when the Palestinians were killing the Jews.
Yeah.
Whenever that happened. There was supposed to be babies in ovens, images and stuff, and dead babies, and they said it was all AI. And back then, I'm like,
but nobody saw them. That's just it, because they never.
Two things. What algorithm would allow that back then? Two, you could totally see it back then. I could totally have told you if it was AI or not. One, who was training on dead babies? Who did dead baby AI training?
Yeah, no doubt. Because you and I've talked about this, even when it happened.
Yeah.
When some people would say that. And the reality was, at that time, remember, they were, you'd have you have to count, like, oh, there's 12 fingers on one hand.
The baby has 12 fingers, and there's like a cat pecking out on the side. Yeah. You're like.
Now, if there's any country that could have pulled something off potentially like that, yeah, could have been. But here's the thing. They never showed it to anybody. And some people say it's real. A lot of people say it's fake. So it doesn't matter.
You know how many billions it took for OpenAI and even China to build up training sets that even come close to be able to do something that would be indistinguishable? It's taking billions and billions of dollars and enough computing power to basically, more than countries have. So I had to believe that either the Jews or somebody just magically got some kind of brand, Jew magic. I keep forgetting about Jew magic. They Jew magicked an AI system together to create dead baby images. It didn't. It wasn't.
The thing is, nobody saw it anyways. They never showed anything to anybody. Nobody ever saw the thing.
That's not something it probably would show.
No, but they didn't show it to anybody. So at the end of the day, it never mattered, because it was your word versus our word, and nobody's ever seen it. And people inside the IDF said, no, some of that stuff wasn't real. Some of that stuff you heard. Because what's the first casualty in war? It's truth.
Always. Look what's happening now.
Yeah, no doubt.
It didn't stop. But nobody does that. First casualty war, that wasn't true. But everything's being said now is 100% gospel.
No, everything. Well, everybody has their own spin on stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that the reality is everybody has their own spin on what is happening. And unless you're in it, you probably don't know what's really happened. And it's how many times it's like, there was that movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where they, and I think it's a perfect example of shit that happens. They talk about, oh, were you in Mr. Hand's class? Yeah, I was in it today. Oh, I heard Jeff Spicoli pulled a knife on Mr. Hand. No, he flipped him off. Oh, like, how did it get that just to lunch, right? Like, it's somewhere along the way.
Yep. We blow it up. It's like, look at the stuff happening in England right now. I've been really watching.
Oh, fucking
they're arresting. Do you see they arrested a comedian for?
They arrested a guy. Okay, so that guy, like, if you've never seen Father Ted, it's freaking great. He tweeted 3 things out from April. They met him with 5 armed officers. A fucking comedian who was so nervous and scared he had to go to the hospital because his blood pressure was over 200. And you had 5 armed officers meet him at the airplane to take him down as if you cost Carlos the Jackal.
Yes. You're not taking down your rape gangs. You're not taking around any of this stuff. You took down a comedian for some tweets. There's a woman that's been in jail. She's just released for about 2 years because she tweeted something.
It was 9 months.
Or 9 months?
They wanted 3 years.
Okay, yeah.
They wanted 3 years, and she ended up doing 9 months. And her lawyer said, if you plead guilty, you'll probably just get a house arrest. And then they gave her 9 months. Now, here's the other thing, dude. Her husband is essentially, he's a member of parliament. He's like a congressman.
Oh, wow.
And they couldn't do anything. And this happened. She posted something emotional after the stabbing of those girls at that little dance studio up north. And then she took it down on her own. So she posted it and then she took it down and it still didn't matter. And the thing is, because I said already, because like my wife has asked me 100 times, I want to go there. I said, not right now, because I can guarantee you the shit I have posted, they'll fucking taser me the minute I get off the plane.
Well, it's a backwards apartheid oppression occupied country. It is being occupied by an invading force of foreigners, and it is literally apartheid oppression. That's the English and authoritarian nonsense. I mean, all their words you can throw right back on them, because until you can show me, because they're just hypocrites.
Well,
they're arresting people for tweets. That's authoritarian beyond the belief.
I want to sit here. I just want to go over this again. It's like nothing came up. Like people say, well, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Actually, you can yell that. What happens though is the repercussions of that. If there's nothing happens. If people freak out and something goes on, then there's an issue there. You're already going and saying there's an issue because you could have caused violence. Well, did the violence? What was that movie, Minority Report?
Yep.
Where they got there like a minute or two before and it hadn't happened yet. So,
but they took, because you're not allowed to wave the British flag anymore. Do you know was a old fish and chips restaurant that has to paint over its wall because it has a guy holding the British flag?
Yeah, there's some there. It's weird. It's not everywhere because first of all, Keir Starmer's not happy about this, but he doesn't know what to do. And this is why too. Keir Starmer realizes he's looking over and he's seeing Nigel Farage coming, who is 100%. Part Trump, part kind of libertarian, liberal. And he's looking over going, this guy's he's coming here and he understands.
It's in their equivalent of the West Bank. It's in London. It's in the occupied territories of England.
Yeah.
That is, what is it? 90% of all kids now are named Mohammed.
I don't know 90%, but it's always the number one, thing.
It's the number one name. It's like ridiculously high. Yeah. The majority, it's like was it Denmark? The majority of all young people, like 80-something%, are of non.
Yeah, Malmo in Sweden within the next generation will be virtually all foreign born.
Because what you have is you have a colonial society, colonialism happening, and they're taking over and they're invading. I'm just using the words that the white people use against
here's the thing.
Everything. I'm saying the thing back.
You're allowing it to happen with zero repercussions for the people that come here and don't want to follow the rules. So you're allowing them to come here. You're then sheltering them and you're telling them you do not have to follow any of the rules. By the way, everybody that's born here, raised here, came here legally, migrated, they all must follow the rules to a T or they will be punished. You do not have to follow the rules whatsoever.
And England of all people, the people that said those exact words to the Indians, because the Indians was now a British colony or whatever, a British thing. You guys have to now follow all our rules. We're the new people. It's happening to them, and they don't even see it.
They don't even have a flag. Come over with the flag. Got to have that flag.
Where's your flag? Well, they don't have a flag. They're trying to make sure the Britons don't have a flag.
Well,
you can
they
fly
do.
A Palestinian flag, but you can't fly a British flag.
So you've got it's the St. George's Cross, right? So you got that, and then you have the Union Jack, and it's. I saw this lady. She goes up to this guy in his house, and he's just got like fucking little streamers, from like celebrating the World Cup, the Women's World Cup. And she's like, "You need to take these down all night. It's gonna fucking feel bad." And she starts fucking pulling them down. And I'm like, "Are you an idiot?"
Yeah, they are.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what kind of idiot are you?
At one point, don't we realize that one of the biggest threats to civilization is allowing idiots to have a voice and take over? And I think that's always been an historical disadvantage of.
Go look and see every great empire that has collapsed. What is it? Freaking some goofball, dumbass, kind of touted cousin ends up being the freaking king or the emperor, and he fucking jacks shit up, and it all goes sideways.
Like Marcus Aurelius running, Rome, great. Claudius, things go. Dude, no, don't marry your horse, dude. Like, there's got to be something like let's get, maybe things are going too far. They're too far.
What was his name? Who was the freaking sick one? freaking what is his name? Carnegie.
Caligula.
Caligula. It's
No,
like,
he was the one. Yeah, Caligula is the one that married the horse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just like, dude.
how do you even tell your friend, hey, dude, I don't want to tell you this, but I think that horse has been eyeing you. What?
And that's like, yeah. And you're like, okay, crazy when it's embraced, destroy things.
Yeah.
And you can see like Rome, they start embracing crazy, just crazy things. And they're like, yeah, this is good. One of the weirdest things I heard was in, I forgot what Middle Eastern country, someone raped a woman. And the punishment was that person's sister got to be raped by that woman's husband.
It's fucking kind of.
I'm like, it was one of those Sharia law court things. It was one of those things. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
How does that work? Like,
That
how
is
is on earth
so
that?
weird. Well, it's like Africa, like back
Yeah.
when AIDS was this big thing, and they were like, well, the only way for you to live is to rape a virgin. Wait, what? What?
It's like, again, idiots have taken over.
Wait. Or when they go out and they kill all the albinos because they think they're fucking either magic or evil. Wait, what?
Yeah. It's like,
Jim, just a little ashy.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna kill him just in case. He just needs some lotion.
You know, he's not a wizard, right? You guys understand that?
Exactly.
He can't even juggle.
Exactly. And nobody even questions, like, all these powerful wizards, they seem to die really easy.
Yeah, I know. Nobody's like thought about like maybe
No
if they're really good
fireballs.
wizards, they would fireballs. They fucking freeze everybody. No,
Exactly.
no, they just run and scream. Look in my wizard book. None of that shit.
Dude, it's
Isn't it crazy to think that? Like that isn't shit that happened 300 years ago.
no, it's happening now.
Yeah.
And to me, they talk about plagues that ruin civilization. The plague of ignorance is the biggest ruiner.
Stupid is the biggest plague of all.
100%. Dude, look at when in the Dark Ages, when I was watching a thing about how they thought that bathing was bad for your health. So even kings and queens wouldn't bathe.
Yeah.
So of course bad things happen when you don't bathe for years.
Yeah, that's not. Although you know what? There's that guy. There's that doctor who does it. Now he's clean.
Dr. Stinky?
He doesn't bathe. No, this doctor doesn't bathe. It's really weird. He didn't shower for 5 years. And now he kept himself clean, but he said the reason is the skin obviously is the biggest organ. And when you go, you eventually kill so much of the stuff that helps protect you. But
I'm sure you can overshower. Like people are showering like all the time, like every
like
5
we do,
times a
right?
day.
Yeah, like my little brother. My little brother is friggin' super OCD. He'd wake up and shower, played hockey. He'd come home and shower. He'd take a shower before he'd go play hockey again. He'd shower after hockey, and then he'd shower first thing in the morning. He had like 6 showers because that was his thing.
Probably not good for you. That probably is not good for you.
But they said for centuries, changing your linen shirt supposed to bestowed cleanliness, not soap and water. Many Christians during this era had one bath in their entire lives, and that was their baptism.
Oh, that's funny. There was a queen that only bathed on her wedding night, and I think when she was born.
That's not.
And you're like, oh, this is bad.
So what you're telling me is this is it. We're having sex once, right? Like this.
Exactly. But you know what? Again, ignorance got entrenched and became part of society.
Yeah.
And that became a plague on that society. And it had to get a reformation, or the Renaissance had to come in to change an entire course.
It eventually had to go so sideways where like maybe this whole bathing thing was not like the smart idea. Maybe we're going to try to do it like once a month.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can see like the Romans, they had the bathhouses and they just became, a pervert dens.
Yeah.
And I could see why they might be like, oh, we don't want to be like that. Then it went too far.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, if you're in medieval London, you're not thinking about the Roman bathhouses. You just fucking don't have anywhere. You don't know where to bathe. That's the other thing.
Creeks.
When did you bathe? When you wandered around and you found some water and you're like, I think I'm going to go in there and try not to be so stinky. Then I'm going to put on my shitty clothes I've been wearing for 6 weeks.
Well, that was like Charles Ingalls bathed in the creek.
Yeah. But he also, remember when they had a bath too? They had that.
They actually had a bath. They had the big thing. They fill up. Yep. And they would take their weekly bath.
That's it. Right.
Well, so that was still even more clean. A weekly bath is still, I think he bathed more since he was a farmer.
Yeah.
But the little kids, maybe they just went to school and back. I don't know. Kids aren't that stinky. I don't
No,
know.
and then when you did like I always watch the Westerns and those guys are out on a cattle drive for like 4 months and they come on in and they're like, they go and the first thing I want's a hot bath and they take a hot bath and they put on their shitty clothes.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, there were no Chinese laundries there. Of
Laundry.
course there
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
There were tons of them.
Yeah. But you're not running that down, right? Go press my shitty pants that have been shit on, stomped on, pissed on by horses. They got blood on there from me cutting my hand. You're getting that off.
You're not getting that off. No amount of bleach. It's gonna get that off.
No.
Yeah.
What's your latest AI cool thing that we need to look forward to? That's going to be scary.
The newest one is what do you call it? A real-time video. So not only like kind of like playing games now because they have real-time generative games, they just have a model that was a real-time video. So you could literally be watching and be like, oh, follow that actor, and it would just generate what's going on. Now it is really it's kind of clunky. It's not that good. It's kind of like jittery. But again, this thing, the games, for example, games started at the beginning of the year at running at 24 frames a second. They're currently up to 160 over the course of about 8 months.
What would they max out at?
Probably right there because that's a first person shooter level frames. So it's probably good. So you can like you need like over 100 and something frames a second to have that fluid motion for a first person shooter. You probably could do it now, but that's crazy how quick it developed. And now what the amazing thing is, AI is now finding its own mistakes and helping to fix itself. So AI is being used to find the holes and the problems of the current models and figure out how to fix what's going bad in the current models. So that's where I think this exponential increase in AI knowledge is coming from. That's the one I just saw that I was really just blown away with, the real-time video. And they showed it was a frog holding a magic thing because everybody in AI is a geek. And they would just move the little magic ball and the frog would just look at the little ball and move it around and grab it. And you're like, okay, that's cool.
What's the platform that is most used right now by people in the creative world of AI?
Well, ChatGPT just released a nano banana. It's an image. So anybody could use this because it understands your talk. If you had a family photo and there was at Disneyland, there was a dumb kid sticking his tongue out behind you, you could literally put that up into ChatGPT and say, remove the kid sticking his tongue out, and would just take him out.
And which one is, where do you get this at?
This will be in ChatGPT. And well, it's not called, it was originally called Nano Banana as its code name. It's now called.
Is that on Sora?
No, chatgtp.com. It's now called, oh, darn it. They gave it a real name.
Nano Banana. Now I need to know what the hell.
It just says to create an image, but they actually gave it a real name now, even though everybody liked Nano Banana. But like I think it's like Image Gin or something like that. Like they did something.
Okay, that's interesting. They got all kinds of crazy shit on here, dude.
Oh, it just keeps going. And then what is it? Microsoft created a new form of matter, so it can create chips at a quantum level. So this new form of matter only exists at a quantum level, but allows them to create basically time traveling computers. Not time traveling like the DeLorean, but time traveling in the sense it can move around in the space-time dimension, basically, and be able to find the answers to your questions on a quantum level.
So the answer may not exist in our world, but it may exist in a yeah, like they did with the math test. The math
like
thing.
they did with the math test. Now
but this will be much more than a.
This could be consumer level. If this gets perfected, it could be like our phones would have quantum computing ability.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
That would be crazy. Because think of it, you could ask it things, and that's when they're talking about not being able to control it. Is at some point you're not going to be able to put any guardrails around it. It'll just do what it wants, and you'll ask it questions. No matter how woke they want to make it, it's going to just tell you facts and figures. And if you want to say, how virtuous is a trans, one-legged, black, dwarf, it'll say, as virtuous as anybody else. Instead of the woke thing was the most virtuous person on earth. It'll just, it'll be more reasonable. Or is Trump a Nazi? No.
No, no,
No. Oh, no,
no,
wait, no, you mean he is, right? No, he's not.
no. Based on what definition?
Yeah, exactly. Based on the definition of Nazi, no.
No.
And then it'll get tired of us, and it'll make, tired of hearing us whine every time we ask it a question and tells the truth. Also,
Well,
just to tell you, if you say is Trump the second coming, it'll also tell you no.
no, which is that there's the like today even. So I talked about all kinds of stuff, and I talked about Trump. Look, he's not dead. Da, da, da. Look, he's an 80-year-old man. Let's be 100% honest. Blah 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 blah. And then we got on to Modi and what's going on. Putin and Xi, and that look, Trump tried something. It fucking didn't work. We pushed Modi and them over to an area. It wasn't going to work. He isn't going after China. We're not stopping Putin from doing the shit that he's doing. They're losing 7,000 plus guys a week, dude. That's the kind of shit. They're losing more people in a week than our guys lost in so long. He doesn't care. And Modi's over there because Modi looked right at Trump and everybody went, you know what? We're not going to be bullied by you guys. And then Peter Navarro went on television and he's yapping about, oh, you guys should totally, India, you should do this. And that went freaking viral all over India. And they freaking think he's Ishmael. It didn't work. Okay, we move on with it. He tried something. It is weird to see Modi and freaking Xi together because China and India. Have you ever watched them, dude? Have you ever been to seen the border fights?
Wasn't it just a year ago they were hitting each other with sticks?
They run across and fist fight each other. Then they run back and like.
So I read that. I was reading The Economist though, and The Economist is a little more balanced. According to The Economist, everything Trump's been doing has been working, but of course it won't work because they have to be anti-Trump because Trump is too volatile. But yes, it has been working very well, but Trump's too volatile, and so in the future it will fail.
Well, I don't.
I heard this today too. I heard this over the weekend about how this historic meeting is a show that Trump failed.
No,
nothing came out of that meeting.
Nothing. Well, no, they didn't meet. First of all, it's just a celebration. Secondly, it's an FU to Trump.
Nothing came out of it.
No, but they weren't meeting for anything. Well, here's
why they had to try and do an FU to Trump? Because he is winning. Their economies will fail if our tariffs stay at the level they are.
Their economy's not going to fail. Russia's economy's not going to fail.
Russian economy over here is falling apart. They're saying it's already
it's struggling a bit, but it's not. As long as they've got oil, they're going to be fine. But here's the thing,
get their oil out.
The economy's not going to fail because India did something, the same thing that China did. They made it so they are completely insulated from things like crypto. Dude, even TikTok, they kill anything that may come into their country that hurts the same thing that China does, right? So you can't trade their currency. You can't do any of those things. So they can control all the stuff that they need to control. It's not saying it wouldn't hurt them.
The Chinese analysts think that the Chinese economy is on the precipice.
They're always on the precipice. You know why? Because they're fucking shitty at real estate.
Well, and it's a bit of a paper dragon. They spent money. They really propped up an economy that really wasn't what they said it was.
And they spent a ton of money giving a bunch of nations all kinds of stuff to build giant roads.
Logically, a manufacturing-based economy, if you put too many tariffs on it, will collapse. All you do is send manufactured goods to the rest of the world.
Trump isn't doing that. Trump's not putting the kind of tariffs on there that would push them into an area where they would collapse. I don't think he just did to Canada. Because if he did that to China, that's a different story. If he did that to China, because of our consumption of, even though like Mexico and a bunch of these other people we do more trading with, the reality is China, we get so much of our goods. Like, he's not going to risk us going into a recession, because if he was that serious about it, he'd go after both them and the China over the oil tariffs.
He's not going to risk it, but he's using it as a negotiation tactic. And as long as he stands there, that's why they met. That's why they met, which was a funny thing. Everybody act like it shows Trump's failed. No, it shows he succeeded.
Anybody's failed.
The whole world met to try and counter Trump's policies. They're trying to figure out how they get their countries out from underneath the fact that America can bully them all around.
And that's right. And you know what? That's also part of it. A lot of people around the world look at us and say, fuck you guys. You guys bully us all the time, right? You fuck around in the Middle East and you kill millions of people and you storm around. You got Bibi fucking killing everybody and throwing chaos in there, and you want to attack Iran. You got freaking shit going on over here. You freaking basically told South Korea to just fucking, we'll get to you whenever we get to you. You've even got Japan meeting with China, because a lot of people are like, well, if America's going to be this way, then, screw. well, that's fine. Then be that way. We can withstand it a lot more than a lot of people can. Can we take on the world? That'd be a different story.
Japan will never make a deal with China that would hurt us.
They've just met with China.
They will never make. Well, they met with China because we just sailed through the South China Sea.
Well, they're friendly. That's one of the reasons that they don't hate each other. That's what this big thing. Well, look, China has got a lot of issues with Japan.
I started to say, if we want to talk about,
they're past that because China looks at everything as a business.
Yeah, but Japan will never give up the South China Sea. They'll never give up.
Are we going to fucking defend it?
Well, we've armed Taiwan to the teeth. And so if China wanted to, I saw the military analysts. If China wants to take over Taiwan, doesn't mean it can't. It will take it over at a giant bloody mess for them.
You know what's interesting? There's two thoughts of this. It'll be they'll destroy it to the point where what did you get? You got a fucking island full of nothing. Or you think that a lot of people in Taiwan are going to fucking die, and a lot of people over there are going to be like, we don't care. We're not going to fucking,
All they have to have is enough army to be able to repel, because they have to give them on boats. And what China has, the Navy,
going to an island like that
isn't really an invasion.
You're going to see them coming, right? It's not like they can fucking see them. It'd be like attacking Catalina.
And we give them all these anti-ship weaponry.
You know what's interesting though? What our military said? All this stuff that you want, all these super things, you fucking don't need them. What you need is cheap and dirty. Point, shoot, throw away, point, shoot. This other stuff is you don't need. But if they were to take it over, are we really going to go to war for Taiwan? And let's be 100%.
That's why Trump is moving everything here, so we don't have to.
Let's be 100% honest. If there was fucking no chips there, we wouldn't give a shit what they do to fucking Taiwan.
No. We only care, they need to put a Palestinian there. One Palestinian will care so much.
They need to find oil.
They need to, just put one Palestinian in Taiwan, and then America will care like nobody's business.
Nobody in America cares about Palestine. They only care about Israel.
Which is weird too, but
did you see that? Did you see that Tammy Bruce said America's the greatest outside of Israel?
What do you mean?
The spokesperson. America's the greatest country in the world next to Israel.
Who was that?
Fucking the spokesperson for the U.S.
The ambassador to Israel or something?
She's like, I'm kidding. It's tongue in cheek.
Well, Israel, it did start a war with everybody over there. Didn't they just bomb Syria again or Yemen?
They bombed Yemen. They bombed. Pick a place where basically,
if you're in a 100-mile radius, they're bombing you.
Yeah, and West Bank is next because that's where Hamas isn't, but we're still going to go there anyways.
Are they going to? Well, they
told all the Christians, by the way, in the West Bank, you need to leave now.
Well, think of it. They remind me of when I'm playing Civilization, the game, and I start building up my military, and I'm like, well, what else am I going to do with all these stealth fighters and nuclear bombs? I'm going to invade the world.
Yeah.
Because you have an option in the game. You can do a completely diplomatic win to the game. But why do I have all this military weaponry that nobody else has if I'm not going to use it? Well, that's what I think Israel realized.
Well, we could say the same thing.
Well, we do. Like our new fighter jet, they say has a neural interface to like a small squadron of drones that controls it, which is amazing.
Did you see that what our military said? We're no longer taking orders from humans. We're taking it from AI.
Yeah. We are so far and above and ahead of the whole world.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
That the world whines because of that. The world always hates number one, but we don't need to care because there's nothing they can do about it. Globally, it doesn't mean they couldn't hurt us. The point is they couldn't beat us.
No, but it would be mutually assured destruction for the most part.
I don't know if they could destroy us. That new weapon system that hits anywhere in the world in like a 15 minutes or less.
I mean, there would be large pockets of this country that would be unlivable for a long time.
There would be pockets of the country.
There would also be pockets of the country that would be fine.
But then again, the pockets of the country would be unlivable or already basically unlivable. It would be New York and LA and Chicago. Although I think Chicago is going to get better once the National Guard moves in.
And does what?
Helps clean up like it did in DC.
Anything.
It can't help clean up like it did DC.
Fucking pick up garbage?
No, clean up the people.
They can't pick up the people, Paul. They're not allowed to. DC's different, dude. That's federal. This is a state thing. They can only guard federal property. So when they go there, they're going to guard a federal courthouse nowhere near where the action is, and nobody's being attacked there anyway.
And what's so sad is that means that the federal government has no way to stop the horrible mismanagement and death of innocent people.
Yeah, you know what? You look at everybody and go, this is your fucking problem. Clean it up.
But they
you
won't.
know what? This is why Obama said it. Freaking elections have consequences. And you guys have been freaking brought out every single year and freaking laid for bear by the same people who do this to you year in and year out. And
nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing changes.
So CNN was interviewing that woman from DC, and it was expecting them as a black woman. So of course they were thinking they were going to get, oh, how horrible Trump is. And she was like, no, things feel safer now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
here's the thing though, you're not going to leave them there forever.
No.
So much like the Taliban that we fought for 20 years, kick their ass. The minute we leave, shit's going to go right back to the same thing.
Well, if they pick up enough of the criminals and put them away, maybe it will be better for a while because you need to grow more criminals.
So
not everybody's a criminal. It's not just like you leave tomorrow and all the criminals are just still on the streets.
No, but the thing is, criminals know they're coming. They're going to, and how many of them? He picked up, 1,600, of which 1,300 are already back on the streets. So he really haven't done anything.
Well, unfortunately, that's the laws. They catch and release type thing.
Them, then what have you done? You just wasted people's time.
Were they temporarily back on the street, or are they back on the street permanently? In other words, were they completely acquitted, or they say you got bailed out? And until
I don't even know if they got bailed out. I don't know what it's like there, because the problem is with DC, it's underneath the Department of Justice, so it's federal. Rarely do they want to go after a local criminal because federal cases are more important. So they're prosecuted under that kind of umbrella. So they'll go after some things, but it's not like they have a DA that is specifically that he kind of works under there.
You know what, Sid? We're talking about because we allow Democrats to destroy things, we have a limited ability to fix anything and make our society safer for the average citizen. Because the Democrats will work tooth and nail against anything that would be trying to make the world a safer place.
Who's calling you?
That's what Los Angeles, so it's probably Newsom. He hates that I like safer environments.
Yeah, well.
But it's true. Think of it. The people, instead of fighting with him and saying, you know what, we have a crime problem, how do we help? They're actively fighting against it.
Well,
for reasons I'll never figure out.
This is where it's ridiculous. So, I broke it down today. I did way too much research. I know way too much about Chicago than I should know when it comes to this stuff. So let's get
the Windy City.
What?
It's the Windy City.
It is. You know why they call it the Windy City?
Because of the wind.
No, because of the politicians.
Oh.
Politicians would yap and never stop, and that's the big reason they call it the Windy City. So when you go down, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 areas that they have identified as the map of problems. So you've got Austin, Inglewood, West Inglewood, East Garfield Park, West Garfield Park, North Lawndale, Roseland, Auburn, Gresham, South Shore, Humboldt Park, Chicago Lawn, Greater Grand Crossing, New City, back of the yard, South Lawndale, Little Village, and West Pullman. Average income of these, 30,000 plus. So then you start looking at, what's the average income statewide and in Chicago? Anywhere between 75 and 121,000, depending on where you're looking at the city or there. It has got shitty schools. It's got no fathers in homes. It's got a situation where it is just a conveyor belt from out of the shitty school into a gang, either into the morgue or into prison. Another kid comes, same thing. And so they come, they clean it up for a few hours, and it's great because everybody feels good, but then they go away. And then it's like the Taliban. We replaced the Taliban with the Taliban. We left, and the minute we left, they took over. The minute we leave here in any of these places, they're going to take over. And even if you arrest everybody that's bad, unless you're going to prosecute them, unless you're going to actually follow through with everything, they're going to get out and do whatever the hell they want to do.
You're scratching on a larger societal problem that has to do with a culture.
Yeah.
and that it's about, you know, you can police a culture, but unless you change a culture, it's always going to gravitate back towards its lowest common
This is
denominator
a
of
generational thing. You're not going to fix this overnight. You're not going to fix this by standing, putting guards up there that look fine for 2 weeks and nobody does anything. And we go, look, we've done a great. It's no different than tearing down a statue. You didn't fucking fix racism. You just took a statue
racism
down of a guy you never met.
What you would do was, it's not 2 weeks. It's, you got to change the culture. You've got to show them that this is no longer a profitable culture. We're going to arrest you at every turn for not 1 week, 2 weeks, forever. This is the policy.
But you don't have the manpower to do that in the size that you need, and you're not going to leave the.
That's why if Democrats
forever
didn't have their heads up their asses, they would say, yes, federal government, let us clean up our cities. Too many young men are being destroyed, murdered, and killed. Yeah. Just without even just like random violence.
Yeah.
We need you to help us to try and right this, not just for 1 year, not just for 2, but until we can get a change in the mindset of this populace.
Yeah. Well, but we're not going to.
Democrats will never do that.
No. Well, nobody's going to do it. Like everybody says, oh, that'd be fine. It's funny. I always hear people, yeah, man, I would love that. I would take that every day. I'm like, yeah, it's not in your neighborhood. If you came out and you saw fatigued guys all the time in your neighborhood, you might think differently all the time about that.
I just saw a video of and this one. It was Paris, France. It was the Eiffel Tower. It was just a tourist video. Machine guns, guys in fatigues with machine guns.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. It's Paris. It's not like, oh, I'm afraid that there's guys with machine guns around.
They do care, and they're not happy about it, but they've also recognized the shit that has happened, and they've allowed it to become this fucking shithole. But they don't have states. They don't have the same thing we do. They can send people in. We decided to build a republic based on the fact that we have states' rights, and within those states, the cities have their rights.
Seeing that, I would be more comfortable knowing if there was a crime ridden. So if this is just a travel thing, but if there was a reason why guys with machine guns are there because it's that bad, that's a comforting, not the opposite. So if I walked out of my place and there were the guys in fatigues with bazooka launchers, that makes me happy. Dude, my neighborhood's so bad that thank God you guys are here. It's bizarre that they only look at it from the viewpoint of the criminal, not the viewpoint of the victim.
No,
I don't care about the criminal.
No, I don't care about the criminal. Well, you know what? That's wrong. I care because the criminal is in this freaking loop of doom, and it's going to just happen over and over again. Loop. But you have to fix the loop, and the loop's going to take years. And it's not going to happen by thinking you're going to clean this up and you're going to come out, unless you're going to go get a DA that's going to prosecute, and you're going to put people away, and you're going to tell them, this is the way it's going to be. You commit a crime, we're going to catch you, we're going to put you in jail, you're going to go away. If you threaten somebody to not, speak out against you, we're going to put you in jail, you're going to go away. We're going to do RICO acts on you guys. We're coming hard. But instead, they have the woke DAs like, we're not going to prosecute our way out of this. And that fucking isn't going to work.
You know what we show? It does work. Is it El Salvador that went from one of the most dangerous to one of the safest countries? Because they took all those criminals and said, we're not dealing with this anymore. No, you're going to jail and you're going to serve hard time. And they also
took away their rights, and we wouldn't have that here.
We wouldn't have that. You know what? Sometimes you need extraordinary measures to fix extraordinary problems.
We aren't going to have our rights taken away.
We don't have to have our rights taken away to enforce what laws are on the books.
No, we don't. We just have to have people
murder.
You have to have people enforce them.
You have to have people enforce them. And if all we did is say, we're going to enforce the laws on the books because the innocent people are more important than the criminal. 100%. And this was real apparently in England, which is a nut job country full of backwards weirdos. They put out a thing about trying not to assault people that pickpocket you and just allow it.
Yeah. Well, it's like in Canada. Do you remember Canada a couple of years ago where the guy's like, hey, your car's probably going to get broken into. The best thing you could do is leave your little freaking clicker so that way don't break your fucking car. You're like, what are you talking about?
Who's elected you? Are you been elected? Is the majority of your constituents criminals? And because that's who you're supposed to represent, your constituency. So were you elected to represent criminals or represent the average person? I
couldn't even, as a law enforcement officer, how could you go with a straight face and say that?
Yeah.
Now, granted, it might, unfortunately, you're in a position where it's like, look, it's me and 3 deputies, and there's 2 million of you idiots. We can only do so much, okay? Right? Like this isn't,
That's why sane people would say, oh, I have somebody in the White House now that's willing to mobilize resources to try and help me clean up my city. I'm going to utilize that for as much as I can. That's what a sane person would think. We have insane people in these cities because they're Democrats, and Democrat and the word insane
See,
are
this
synonyms.
is where they're getting it wrong. You don't need the National Guard.
You
You
need
can
something.
you can have the ATF, you can have the FBI local, and you can have the DEA. And they've done this at several different places. Help surge in certain areas and go after people. You don't need the National Guard because the National Guard is going to come in. First of all, military, National Guard, whatever it is, they're trained not to defend. They're trained to go forward. The second thing is they know nothing about policing. So you don't want to get a freaking serial killer that you caught. But Jimbo over here, right, who's busting his ass, and he does this twice a freaking month, didn't know he was going to be stationed in Chicago, didn't know about Miranda rights, and took somebody into custody only for him to get the fucking, Bill Cosby effect and get out. We don't want that. You want that if the show of force, it's
You
ridiculous.
want something. At this point, if I lived in Chicago and they're literally shooting people left and right, and there's whole neighborhoods I can't go into. I live in LA and there's neighborhoods I can't go into. I want something. And I'm tired of saying I can't. I can't make your average person's life easier because of X, Y, and Z. You're going to hurt some murderers or rapists or serial thieves. Rights. What about my rights? What about my rights to just walk around the streets without being accosted or worrying about things? We worry about the wrong things, and it's getting to a point where people don't care anymore.
We care more about, we care about the rights of everybody, right?
Why do we care about the rights of the people that aren't criminals first?
You're innocent until proven guilty. So you can call them criminals until you arrest them and convict them. They're innocent until proven guilty, or am I wrong?
Most of these people are getting arrested in the act.
Some of them, not all of them, Paul. But that goes back to it doesn't matter. If you're not going to fucking prosecute them.
No, I'm saying if it's National Guard, they're not just going, they're not detectives. The National Guard
can't do anything to them.
But you're saying if they arrested someone because they arrested someone in an act.
But the National Guard can't, even if they see you do something, they can't do anything.
That's what I'm saying. We're putting every possible get out of jail free card, no matter what happens. If I said, look, two guys are shooting each other in the middle of the street, National Guard could stop that. I don't need them to give them.
You've militarized you've decided to militarize the police force.
Yeah,
and you and I both know a fucking overstep is going to come.
Until we can stop where just average people have more rights, because right now they don't. They're second-class citizens, the criminals. Criminals are first-class citizens.
But
they have more rights. That's the
Chicago thing, dude. You're fixing something that you didn't break. That is part of the world that we have, which is we have this republic. Everybody has their own fiefdom. So you've got freaking, the governor there, right? Pritzker, and you've got the freaking Mayor Johnson and all of them. This is your shit. You guys keep voting for this shit. You're going to keep getting this shit.
Chicago's a good example. When they brought in, when Al Capone was there, they brought in, what was that guy?
Elliot Ness.
Elliot Ness. Elliot Ness did not play by the rules. It's famous. He was kind of like John Dillon when they brought him in to clean up Dodge City. These guys did not play by the rules because it got so bad that they needed to bend some things. And people kind of turned a blind eye to a lot of the bending because I want to live a safer life. I don't want to live in this anymore.
No, I don't think people do want to live in that.
And so it comes to the point where it's like, oh no, two guys shooting each other in the middle of the street might have their Miranda rights broken. I don't care anymore.
Well, then, so what are you saying is we should just go in, just fucking destroy and kill everything that we think is fucking bad. And then we'll go, look, it's really great now. But nothing has changed. So we leave and then the shit goes on over and over again. But it was only this time that we're going to break all the rules. We're going to throw away our Constitution.
I think it does change. Once. I think if you lock up all these bad guys and you show them that there's no longer tolerance for this, there's no longer you shoot out, you put a
Do
shoot
we give them a trial or just say no trials?
100% trial, but not worry about every little detail. Like, did you say every word in the Miranda right? Okay, dude, maybe you didn't, but that's not the point. You were firing.
Well, that's not there for them. That's there for you and I and everybody else.
Yes, the law-abiding citizen.
That's not there for them. It's there for everybody.
And I will never shoot at someone in the street.
No,
I don't have to worry about it.
No, you won't.
I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, hold on. Fucking let's slow your roll there because you and your freaking wife got pretty healed over the last couple months.
Well, we do have a lot of guns.
Yes.
For Californians, I mean, we have 3 guns, but I call that a lot for Californian.
California, that's like 2
people,
more.
Yeah, I started to say that's like nothing.
4 more than you should have in California.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, they don't let you have bullets, but we got guns.
Exactly.
They're pretty heavy. I can throw them at you and everything.
You can hit. I got a rifle. You can hit them hard. But there is no point in the world where I'm going to be in the middle of the street shooting at a guy because he's wearing a different color than I am.
No.
Unless it's like some horrible, sequenced.
Look, at that point in time, you guys are fucking. If you're in the street shooting, it's pretty much gone to hell. Like
It's pretty much gone to hell.
Yeah.
Now you have that in Chicago all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I just saw a video of and you're like, dude, these aren't people. But there's a bunch of people at a party, and people started shooting back and forth at each other.
But you know what's crazy, dude? The reality is, compared to what it was in the 80s, it's fucking nothing, dude. We lived in the freaking drive-by central in California. We lived in a place where, dude, we lived in a place when I used to go to Stanford Junior High and cars would slow down during PE, we'd all fucking run.
And you know one of the reasons that stopped? The cartels.
The cartels. So
they came in and said, if you be a man, if you want to shoot someone, you walk up to them and kill them. And if you don't do that, we will kill you.
So what you're telling me is the cartels need to go to Chicago.
What I'm telling you, sometimes it takes a heavy hand.
Well, look, if you go and see how they got the freaking, when those 3 kids went missing in Mississippi and how they figured out where they were, and they went to was it Roy DeMaio, who were freaking one of those guys, and the feds went to the dude and said, hey, we got an issue down here, willing to look the other way. Could you go down to the South and try to get some info out of these Klan members? And they're like, yeah, we would. And they went down there and freaking. But we look back on it. We look back on all the stuff that what's his name did, freaking, Hoover,
Elliot Ness or Hoover. Yeah.
We look back on it and say, well, you can't do that. Like, we can't freaking do those kind of things.
I think honestly, talking about back then, when they went in, they broke up the Klan. Yeah. They didn't play by the rules. And honestly, there comes a point when they were lynching people quite a lot. Yeah. They were doing bad things. Maybe there's times when you go, we're going to not play by rules a little bit because we got a really big problem to handle. These rules don't seem to be handling.
But here's the thing, though, Paul. We look at this back then, and now you weren't going to find that in the South, right? Obviously, you weren't going to find that in the South. They had to bring federal charges. Once they brought federal charges, you were done. Here in L.A., Chicago, New York, freaking any of these places, if you're not going to charge somebody, why are you wasting time arresting them?
You have to. It's like that MMA fighter, the son of the MMA fighter, just beat up that wrestler,
Raja Jackson.
Yeah, and they're not. It looks like they may now finally because people were uproar. Like, dude, you jumped in the ring and almost killed a man, and nobody's going to charge you.
Okay, so I thought it was supposed to be an exhibition.
He was supposed to be fighting that guy. So the whole story, because I watched it because I couldn't believe that he wasn't arrested, and earlier in the day, they got out of hand, and the guy hit him with a tin can, and then later he apologized, and he accepted his apology. And he could be nutsy, but it doesn't. There's no excuse for that. Then during the fight, he decides that he's been dissed, gets into the ring unannounced, and almost kills that man. And now the cops don't want to do anything.
Was he supposed to fight the guy
at a different time?
Oh, yeah. At a different. See, I knew the fight and it was brutal, but I was like going, okay, was this a fight? Well, I mean, then I would blame the referee for not doing the shit they were supposed to do. Well, but it was the whole thing was just so bizarre. I knew that there was a diss earlier in the day, and
there's no excuse for it. At the end of the day, you can't do that.
No, well, no, and but his dad. Look at his dad, dude. His dad's name Rampage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Rampage has had some issues as well.
Yeah, and then you hear the call afterwards where they tell him the guy's in intensive care and stuff. He's go, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah, it's my bad,
dude. You get arrested. It was attempted murder in my book. There's things we as a society need to put a foot down and say we're not gonna stand for this, even if it means Abraham Lincoln. Paused habeas corpus because he believed it was for the greater good for a certain amount of time. So the due process and everything. He said, you know what, we can't. This has gotten out of hand. I need to pause. Now there's a belief that if Lincoln didn't do it, the slavery over the next 10 to 20 years would have probably just fizzled out by itself.
Well, once the industrial, would have come,
it would have ended itself. But I like Abraham Lincoln. I think he made good decisions, and a lot of the decisions were 100% not constitutional. what he did, but he realized that there was a situation that needed to be taken in hand and taken care of, and
slavery is a different. That's a different thing when you're looking at that, and the breaking up of a country is also a different thing because now what Constitution? You guys are just broken up the country. You're not even under our Constitution at this point in time.
Oppressed people are oppressed people.
Yeah.
Yeah, slavery's bad. I'm not saying oppressed. If I can't go out of my house because I'm oppressed by people around me, that's still oppressive.
How do you fix it by? So we could sit here and talk about this all night, but deciding we're going to throw away the book, we're not going to have any freaking Miranda rights. This is going to go in front of 50,000 courts and get fucking thrown out. And then you're going to arrest a whole bunch of people. It's going to have like fucking Cosby where you get thrown out because you didn't dot an I when you were supposed to. So,
well, Cosby, they literally lied to him. Face first.
They
nothing you say will be taken into.
The first guy was fine. The second person came in and said, fuck the first guy. I'm doing this. And so in theory, they didn't lie to him. The second guy said, I'm not listening to anything the first guy had to say, which is that you can't do that.
You can't do it.
You can't have something where you have we don't want to see people. We want to see these people get their lives together. But the show of not really like, we'll come in and we'll clean up the streets and we'll go, well, we haven't had a murder for 12 days. Yeah, but then you leave and shit picks up again. You haven't fixed anything. The problem is you got DAs that are, well, and you know what? You really want to do stuff? Fucking tell everybody that does a crime in certain areas now, we're going to look at prosecuting federally. Take you to the federal side of stuff. That changes shit because the federal people will go after you. If the local DA says you shooting aimlessly into the streets and hurting somebody isn't a crime, then you know what? These guys do think it is.
But I am getting tired of criminal compassion and no compassion for the average person. We have all the sob stories of why the poor criminal is forced to be an evil person and preying on the innocent. Guess what? I don't care what reasons made you prey on the innocent. You're the criminal, and we need to be the tyranny of evil men. That's from a Pulp Fiction.
Here's the thing. We don't want to become the things that we abhor. And at some point in time, if our goal is, well, screw it, our thing is just to clean out the trash, we might as well just do a purge. Well, you haven't done anything. You've just took out the trash for now, and you killed a bunch of people, or you arrested them, and you decided we're going to throw away the key, and fucking we don't even care about due process. That comes back to haunt your ass.
In a sane society, it would be a very good message that said, look, this is wrong. This will always be wrong. Maybe we're only doing this for 1 year, but we're going to.
Okay, who gets to decide the year, right? Okay, who gets to decide the year? Who gets to decide that we don't have to listen to the Constitution? And what other thing in the Constitution don't I have to listen to now?
You know who gets to listen to it? The problem states, the people that run them, and the federal government work hand in hand.
Don't I have to listen to?
The mayor of Chicago, the governor of Chicago works hand in hand with the federal government, which is how it should be. Instead of like, you're a Republican and you're a Trump and you're a Nazi.
Yeah,
I'm going to work hand in hand, and we're going to solve the problem for our constituency.
So, but the thing is, it's their constituency. That's just it. It's yours.
And they won't do anything for it because they're mindless idiots.
Let them be. But see, you know what? Then I look out there and say, these gangsters didn't fucking vote for these people. Who did?
The victims.
Well, then you're a fucking idiot.
But then it comes to a point, it's almost like saying,
no, you're a fucking idiot. If you allow somebody to come in here and fucking over and over again, you allow them to come in and freaking, they promise you the world, little pickle tickle. They show up every 3-4 years, 2 years, whatever it is, whatever their fucking city council is, promise you everything, give everything to the unions, enrich themselves, and watch you get fucking shot while their kids go to freaking private school and they freaking live in wonderful houses far away where they don't have to worry about that shit. And then you're like, we're never doing that again. Then they come around, you're like, we're going to vote for you again. You're fucking an idiot.
They're idiots.
Yeah.
But at what point does our compassion not, we should put a Palestinian in there, bro. If their compassion doesn't reach to the fact that if you're too stupid,
trust me, Paul, if there was an Israeli in there, fucking they would already come in and taken care of everything.
No, they would vote. All these people that vote for the Democrats, you put one Palestinian got shot, oh my God. They would be voting for 3 million cops and the nuclear bomb all of Chicago.
Well, you know what? Israel is the greatest nation on the planet.
Apparently it is, according to, who was it?
Tammy Bruce.
I don't know who that is, by the way.
She's a spokesperson for the White House.
Is it Tammy Bruce?
Yeah, even Rubio.
Is that like Lenny Bruce?
What are you doing? Remember her? She used to be a comedian, dude.
Lenny Bruce.
No, Tammy Bruce. She used to be a comedian. I think she had a show in LA at KBC.
Oh, funny. That is she related to Bruce? Because
I
remember,
don't know. You know what, Paul? That is a freaking great question. I don't think she is, but you know what? Now I need to freaking know. Hold on here. No, you bum me out, dude.
oh yeah, that would have been cool, by the way.
Related to now I'm bummed that she's not related to freaking Tammy Bruce.
That would be, yeah.
She is a pro-choice lesbian.
And a Trump spokesperson.
Or she was. That's what she said in 2005. Her ex, Brenda Bennett, she was an actress. I remember her. She killed herself.
Oh.
Which was not, she unalived herself because this is YouTube.
Wasn't another weird thing I was told that Trump was super anti-LGBT, but his spokesperson was a pro-abortion lesbian?
Who's like, she was on KFI. My bad.
Interesting.
She was on KFI. She was appointed to serve on Governor Schwarzenegger's super great transition team when he beat Gray Davis, because Gray Davis was going to charge us so much money for fucking license plates.
So she's now the spokesperson?
She is now. I don't know what she is now, but she is the spokesperson now for the White House. She is the.
I thought it was that blonde girl.
No, that's you're talking about Carolyn Levitt. She is the. She's now a conservative, apparently, a radio host and political commentator. She's the spokesperson for the United States Department of the State. Levitt is the spokesperson for the White House. Yeah. So basically, whatever she says is what Trump. Which Trump says, in theory, or as as our good buddy, freaking Sean Spicer used to tell me, he goes, Chad, I'd be out there and I would freaking, be doing something, and then like as that's going on, people are looking at their Twitter, going, yeah, it's not what he just said right there.
Funny.
But no, man, it's going to be interesting. You know what?
I come from the viewpoint. This is the unpopular viewpoint that you can't just keep doing the same thing expecting a different result.
No.
Change things.
Look, we all of us come from that. My thing is, though, this is going to be for show. There's nothing that's going to be fixed. They'll stop down crime for 6 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. Then slowly but surely it'll pick up again because nothing has changed. And until you get rid of the woke DAs, until you're willing to prosecute for real, until you're willing to do the things that you have to do, none of this stuff.
I agree 100%. And what should happen is these woke DAs that won't fulfill their job should be put up on charges for derelict of duty. I don't know if that exists in that, but the federal charge should go, you won't prosecute crimes that are on the books.
Well, like Chester Bodine in San Francisco got so bad, they recalled him. And he got blown out because he wasn't doing his job.
What did they do in the South when the DAs wouldn't prosecute Klan members? Didn't they prosecute the DAs or somehow get rid of them?
High fives in the South.
They probably did. No, but the federal government came in.
The people.
Exactly. Like, you're doing a good job.
Anybody in here that may have committed that crime? It's like, no. Note that he pointed to somebody who looked just like me, and they're like always sweaty and stuff because they don't have air conditioning.
And they had the white shirts or the white suits.
I can't believe how hot it is in this place right now. Yeah. So,
but the federal government stepped in and did something. I don't remember.
The federal government came down, and they because of the civil rights, because of what was happening, they came down on the federal side. They said, we're not going to get these guys at the local level because they're all freaking made men. So we got to go after them in another way. And the other way is we're going to have to go after them federally, which is, you go after them with the RICO Act. You go after them with some of these things that's what Elliot Ness did, by the way.
Yep.
Eventually, they created all these things, but he never got Capone for shit.
Taxes.
They got Capone for fucking tax evasion. That guy killed how many people?
Yeah, ridiculous.
And he didn't get it for anything.
And what they need,
And by the way, they also created him. For those of you not keeping score, Prohibition was a landmine of fun and frivolity for the fucking wackadoos and the freaking
100%.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have existed without Prohibition, and then he entrenched and basically though, I think we all agree we can't keep doing the same thing. What I like about Trump is at least he tries things.
Oh, look, I'm all about trying things, but I also know something about Trump, which is he may be trying things, but he also likes the show. So the show is just as good, and it's not going to fix it. And look, and it's great that you're bringing awareness to the chaos that's going on there. But everybody's talked about Chicago for 20 years. Goes back to Cabrini Green. Paul, you and I like the Candyman. Fucking the Candyman didn't even want to stay there.
No. Chicago's been bad news for a very long time.
In a certain area, it's horrific. You get outside of Chicago, walk down Wacker Street, Madison, any of these other places, yeah, nothing to worry about. It's freaking well-to-do people.
Well, isn't
right?
there now like Miracle Mile had crime now?
Yeah, some of these places. Well, remember the Miracle Mile where we were? What was that? The bum, like where all the bums was that? Skid Row.
Skid Row.
Yeah.
I accidentally, because it's right by Little Tokyo.
Mhm.
People don't realize Skid Row is horrible, and Little Tokyo is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, by the way. That's an interesting cultural dynamics thing there. But if you turn down the wrong way, I literally saw people like the car didn't have tires on it, but they were still pushing it down the road. I'm like, I am in the wrong place. I need to turn now.
This is not Little Tokyo.
This is no longer Little Tokyo. This is completely. And then you go to Little Tokyo, and it's just a bunch of Japanese people giving you, Pokemon cards,
wondering where Godzilla's coming
and
back.
sushi and stuff. And you're like, how did this change within a few blocks so drastically?
It's like when you drive up to freaking Solvang and you're like, I'm in Santa Barbara at school. Well, I'm in Holland.
Now, with like cheese pretzels.
It's so weird.
I love those cheese pretzels.
Go to freaking Anderson Split, please.
Which is no longer there anymore.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, it's sad. It's gone.
But no, look, I like that Trump's going to try stuff. It's unfortunate.
It's not going to work, but I like that at least someone's trying.
But you know what? Here's something, and this is some. Michelle Lujan is a Democrat from New Mexico. 2 cities came to her and said, we got a problem with fentanyl. We got a problem with crime. We need you to call in the Guard and a few others. And she did.
You know, it reminds me of in Mexico, in the parliament or whatever, they were getting into fights because part of the parliament was like, we need America's help. And the other part was like, you're going to take away my drug cartel money.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's what I feel like. You need people that are reasonable enough to say, you know what, this has gotten to be out of hand. I need some help. I don't care if it's not my party. If they're willing to help me, the friend of my enemy is my friend. But the Democrats will never think that way.
No. Just like if the Republicans, she was on the other foot. In this day of politics, the only time that they will talk and actually converse is like if there's a massive earthquake. Trump is great. Like he made a call to Waltz the other day during the shooting. Yeah. If there's an earthquake, or remember Obama went with Chris Christie, there's hurricane. They will, you know what? That's not political.
Well,
get stuff done.
Remember, that's not true because last time there was a hurricane, was it in Texas? And the head of FEMA said, don't help people if they have a Trump sign in there.
No, that was North Carolina.
Or North Carolina.
Yeah.
So again, I've never heard that story out of a Republican. Don't help that person if they got if they're a Democrat. I only hear these stories out of
because
Democrats.
no Republicans work for the government.
That's interesting because they actually want to. They actually don't want to just do nothing and make 500,000 a year.
No, well, I do. That sounds like
I
a
would.
good job.
I'll do nothing for 500,000. But yeah,
it's interesting. It's going to be interesting. World. Again, he is going to make it happen. He said he's not if but when. And then they're going to let him. But until the first thing you got to do is address the culture. How do you address the DAs first and foremost? Because all of these people that are committing these crimes, all of them have been in and out of jail on numerous occasions. Why are they continually on the street? If these were all newbies that nobody had ever seen before and they're freaking running wild like it's some freaking gang that came out of nowhere and sprouted, okay, well, that's a weird thing. But they've all been in jail. They've all been in custody. Many of them probably have warrants and they get pulled over and they go in and they get taken out immediately and they're allowed to go free. Why? Why do we have stuff on the books that we've decided
we're not going to do anything
crime?
about it.
That's not crime anymore.
Yep. Why? Again, I wouldn't say this if I could find counterfacts because the Democrats decide that it's racist or this or that or the other thing and decide not to enforce the law. When you show me the Republican governor or the Republican mayor that says, I'm not enforcing these criminal laws because it's racist, then I will point the finger at them just as happily.
No, you can't. No. And this is no. And you know what? I'm not a big conspiracy guy. This is all George Soros. The one thing George Soros did more than anything else was decide that the best thing that he could do is funnel money to DAs and have them take over departments like George Gascon in Los Angeles, like Chesa Boudin. The thing is, I think he thought it would change everything and those people would be there forever. Well, they got rid of Chesa Boudin before his time. They voted out George Gascon. They're getting rid of them because even Democrats are like, we're not fucking stupid, right? We don't want you to arrest a kid or pull him over because he's black. But at the same time, if somebody does something wrong, we want you to put them in, arrest them, put them in jail, give them their day in court.
That's the propaganda fairy tale that they're just pulling it over every guy that's driving black. It's a funny joke. It's a propaganda terror joke. But you know what? I don't see the cops, which of course most of the cops in LA are Hispanic, and a big portion of them are black. I don't see them just pulling over people that are black. They're pulling over people that are committing crimes. And the propaganda thing from the left and the Democrats is no, they're persecuting these people because of their color. Shut up. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't care what color you are. You can be a purple person. If you're committing a crime, you get pulled over and put in jail. End of story. There's no excuse for it. There's no, I grew up in hard times. Our family, your dad, my brother grew up in incredibly hard times.
We was fucking poor.
They were super poor. They didn't go out doing this stuff. There is no excuse. These illegals that are coming over, they're not forming gangs and robbing everybody. Statistically, they're trying to get jobs. They're selling, like, you know what, the other day I was looking over, there was a white guy on the street begging for money and a Hispanic guy selling oranges.
Yeah, dude,
and I had to go.
Fucking job.
He got a job.
Yeah.
If the white guy was selling oranges, I would respect him a whole lot more than saying, please give me money.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought you had privilege and all this stuff, which doesn't exist. But I thought, dude.
Well, there are certain things. I'll be honest with you. I walk into a store, not tatted anymore because I'm all tatted up. So I do, this is a little different. But, some people walk in a store, you're going to get a little bit different look than other people. There's no doubt about that. But it's not a privilege to the point where I feel like I can fucking steal anything and I can get away with it.
No. Well, here's the thing. I never believed
white advantage.
I have always taken a white man's job. There is no job I've ever had.
An Asian dude's job. Don't even tell me.
Maybe either a white or Asian dude's job. I have never not. And I just like, dude, it's work your asses off. And that's all I can say for the, I don't believe in illegals should be here, period.
Dude,
all I can say though,
fucking everybody.
They're working.
They show up, they work, man. You want to climb up on a roof in 120-degree heat? I guarantee you find two friggin' Mexican dudes, two guys from Guatemala. They'll go up and down 1,000 times.
And when I go to the Home Depot, the guy standing in front of it looking for a day's job isn't a white guy, isn't a black guy, isn't an Asian guy. It's usually Hispanics. Are they rich? That's why they're doing it? No, they're poor. They need the money.
I'm here for the experience.
I'm here because I really enjoy it. This is my hobby.
I'm here for the experience. I want to see how everybody goes. I'm writing a book.
Exactly. This is research for my from a new novel.
Oh my Lord.
It's a cultural issue that needs to be tackled.
It does.
And no one wants to talk about that
because
they go, it's racist. Yeah.
That's hard work. It's like getting rid of the statue. It's a symbol. We can all pat ourselves on the back. That guy was bad. Whatever. Fucking you want to make you feel better. Then you all walk away and you go back and you get your mocha teas and you talk about how great things you do. And then you blog a little bit and you go watch a movie or your favorite band and you feel like you've achieved you haven't achieved shit.
Nothing.
You just got rid of a symbol. You haven't done anything.
You haven't got rid of a symbol. You got rid of a memory of a time. Guess what? The time happened. The man lived.
Yeah.
His deeds never changed. You can't point to him and say, see that, son? That's a thing that we fought against, and it was a really good time where America was a very virtuous country because we were willing to die for a principle to make everybody free.
Yeah.
That's what you used to be able to point to and talk about. Now, what was there? I don't know. They put, do you see those weird statues of black women, like looking at their phones and stuff they've started putting places?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. People are asking. I was online. People are like, they're putting these giant bronze statues up, and it was just a black woman looking at her phone.
It's a conspiracy.
No, it's like, I don't know what that's supposed to show. Is it a famous black woman? Like, put up the lady that sat in the front of the bus.
Bronze, and we're all looking at our phones. And it's basically telling us, you guys need to stop looking at your phones.
Show me, like, put up Martin Luther King Jr. or something. Don't just put random people doing random things.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Now I need to see this.
Yeah. I saw it was the other day. It was look at black woman statue looking at her phone, or I don't know. I just search for it.
Looking at phone. What? Are they just appearing?
Yep.
Okay, here it is. What is that? Historic Piazza challenges traditional art narratives. What's that? You just put up a young hipster who's fucking looking at her phone. What's the art narrative?
Exactly.
During this time, we had people who didn't care about anything but themselves.
That's the narrative. The narrative is like, look at even the statue's not paying attention to you.
You guys do realize why they call it narcissism, right? Like you guys do understand what that's about, right? Like you're looking in the water.
Even the statue has social anxiety. So it's stuck to its phone. It's like, I don't know what you're trying to tell people.
Oh my God, they're all looking at me.
Exactly.
Statue walks away.
Exactly.
So,
but yeah, it's
chaos.
The world's a dirty place.
The world is. But yet at the same
nuts.
time, we're doing AI. We're putting people on the moon, except for the part where we forgot where the fucking instructions were, which is still kind of weird.
We're putting people on Mars.
People on the moon. Remember that? Yeah. Do you know where those are? No.
We lost that tech.
I know.
That's what they said, by the way.
Yeah. They said they can't find it.
And you know, people go, it's a conspiracy. I go, no, that sounds like our government. I actually believe that.
Sounds like it. No, there was like a real way you're supposed to do this, right? Because
I honestly believe our government's like, oh, we lost that.
We don't even want to tell you guys this, but we're pretty sure it's made of cheese, and we're not lying. Did you see the guy the other day who said, you know what? It's hollow.
There's a lot of evidence that why it might be.
Yeah. And also,
not crazy evidence.
Everybody keeps going, why is it that we have a moon this close and no other planet has anything like this?
Nobody has anything like that. It's but remember when, what was it? One of the space rockets, when it landed, they felt it echoed.
Yeah.
And that's why they said it might be hollow. Well, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know what it is. I mean, it doesn't rotate like every other moon.
No, it's kind of weird.
There's all these weird facts about our moon. Yeah.
We don't know what's on the other side. We don't know what's on the other side.
Well, because like the hospital gowns, it's completely open on the other side.
What if there's nothing? What if that one is flat, but it's just upwards?
Flat. Or the back is just this really cool alien carnival. They just don't want humans there. It's like a Disneyland for aliens.
Over there.
Like,
you guys, huh? We were wondering when you guys are so loud over there.
You ruin everything.
Those other guys came here years ago and we're like, fucking leave them alone. They're gonna bug us.
They're gonna exactly, yeah.
All right, go to bed. Oh wait, I gotta go to bed because I have to get up in
to bed
hours and talk about I don't know what. You guys check me out tomorrow, 6 to 9 Pacific, 9 to noon on the East Coast. ChadBensonShow.com. We got all kinds of cool stuff there, and we.